I will be doing the podcast solo next week, guys. Don will be off.
You will.
Off and away. Not sure what he's going to be getting up to, but not doing the podcast, that's for sure. But you'll get my face solo. We'll have some fun things planned. And,
you know exactly what I'm doing.
yeah, he's actually helping me out with something, so he'll be away. He'll be
What a
away.
guy.
He'll be away for the week. All right, CFL fans, welcome back to the Out of Bounds Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Cody. He's your host, Don. This is take 2 of our CFL weekly video. We filmed the first one, and we lost it. So we're going to go through last week's games. We'll preview next week. There's 2 more weeks left in the CFL. 3 games next week, 4 games the following week to wrap it up, and then we'll be into the playoffs. So 4 games this past weekend in Week 19. We had the Argos facing the undefeated, or not the undefeated, the 7-game win streak Bombers. They came out. Bombers had a chance to win it, but the Argos ended up on top. 14-11 victory.
Again.
Swept the series against the Bombers. And they're rolling right now into a big number 2 seed game next week against the Redblacks, who look absolutely atrocious.
Terrible.
Quarterback situation's all messed. Defense doesn't look great. All around. All right, then we had the Elks and the Stampeders. This was bottom of the West matchup. Both teams out of the playoffs. MBT did not start this game. I imagine we won't see MBT in an Edmonton Elks uniform ever again. As Trey Ford started this week, and he'll probably play Week 21 against the Argos as well. So,
and that one was kind of a back and forth game, even though it was meaningless. And that's where we got the player of the week, Justin Rankin. 10 carries, 140 yards.
Yeah, 14 yards per carry is quite impressive.
Yeah, he was basically the highlight of the week.
And he was the reason that they came down on that last drive.
Yep.
And ended up in the end zone. So, Justin Rankin, congratulations on your OOBSP player of the week.
Quite the honor.
Stomping. The Rough Riders were a little bit rough with the Lions this past weekend as they crushed them 39-8.
They didn't play very nice with them this week.
Not at all. Nathan Rourke with a dud of a showing once again. Let's pull up his stats here. 15 for 23, 200 yards, and 2 interceptions. So 1 carry for 5 yards. So Nathan Rourke doesn't really know what's going on right now. They're paying him a lot of money, but the Lions are not winning games. They're 8-9. They could hobble into the playoffs with a losing record if they lose their final game against what I believe is the Alouettes. No. Yeah, the Alouettes next week.
Yeah.
So that'll be their final game of the week. They won't play Week 21 as there's 9 teams and 1 team has to be off. So season finale for them next week. They're gonna want to win, just to get some momentum going into that divisional matchup against either the Bombers, or the Rough Riders. So
they got to do something. They can't go into the playoffs how they're playing. Neither can Ottawa.
No,
like
both
come
of
on,
those
guys.
Yeah, and Ottawa, like we mentioned earlier, they do have a chance to fight still for second place. It's not fully out of their grasp. They will have to beat the tough Argos at home next week. But I'll be covering that next week in the playoff in our CFL podcast. So we'll get to the last game here. Alouettes and Redblacks. Alouettes, I mean, they have nothing to play for. They've already locked up the number 1 seed. They've got that game scheduled into their calendar. And they started their backup quarterback, Davis Alexander. Whereas the Redblacks, I mean, they win this game. They go into next week with number 2 pretty much wrapped up at this point.
Who are they going to win it with? Mazzoli?
Yeah, like Victor Crumb not playing well. Not Victor Crumb. Is it Victor? No, that's the guy from Harry Potter. Justin Crumb. And Brown's out, right? Drew Brown, is he going to be maybe back for a potential playoff
I don't
game,
know
or?
if he's back this week or not, but I know he was injured before, and then he came back.
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, Dustin Crum, there we go. Two for 7 yards.
So close, Dustin.
Yeah. So this is like we mentioned, this was a field goal off here. Lewis Ward was 4 for 5, and Montreal's last few points ended up, or last 12 points were also field goals as well. Yep. So not much to report on this game. Mazzoli had a interception in the fourth quarter, as he has in the last couple games, and the Messiah has been
embarrassing.
Yeah, I was going to say the C word, but I won't say that.
Embarrassing.
So here we have next week 3-game slate. St. Peter's at the Tiger Cats, which that's pretty much bottom of each division will be playing each other. That's in Hamilton. So I imagine, I don't know what that game's going to be like. I have no expectations for that game.
I think Hamilton will probably start Bo because he's still in there for the MOP. And Hamilton is playing for Pride now. Calgary has showed over the last month and a half that they have no pride.
Yeah, they're 4-11-1, and they're after this week they're an 8-game winless streak. So, I mean, Tiger Cats win this game, they could finish with I guess they still would be less. They still would be worse than the Lions, but
they're still going nowhere.
I was gonna say they might have a better record than the bottom 3 in the West, but that will not happen. So Tiger Cats, yes, they're playing for pride. Their fans will be out there. I'm sure they'll still be crazy as always. Oski Weeing and Oski Wawing all over the field.
Until Hamilton starts to get the beat, and then they turn on them like it's nobody's business.
Holy Mackinac. Riders. No, Tigers. Beat them raw. All right, and then so then we got the big number 2 seed matchup, Redblacks against the Argonauts. They'll be playing at 3 o'clock on Saturday. This is going to be the best game of the week next year, I imagine, next week. And the Alouettes and the Lions. Vernon Adams will be starting that game.
Alexander will be starting it too.
So Fajardo will take a little bit more time to rest. But Vernon Adams, I mean, big game for him. Could sway the eyes of the coaches and maybe have him start against either the Rough Riders or Bombers in the divisional semifinals. But
you know what?
I don't really know what to think about that. So.
Do you know what I think this game is for him? An audition for a team who wants him for next season, because he will not be on BC next year.
Yeah, they've already paid Rourke, and you look at a team that could use a quarterback going forward. Stampeders, Redblacks for sure.
Tiger Cat.
Well, they're still paying Bo though. They're gonna keep him, I think.
Yeah, but he's older and he's on the way out. Adams is younger. I say if they have the chance, grab him, play him, and let Bo just slowly fade away.
Yeah. So, yeah, should be an interesting week next week with that number 2 matchup. I'll be able to, what am I doing? I'll be watching the Stampeders Tiger Cats game, I guess, on Friday night. All right, so power rankings.
What about our picks? Let's do this quickly. I got the Tiger Cats over Stamps.
So we both have the Tiger Cats. We both have the Argonauts against the Redblacks. And then we're split on the Alouettes and Lions.
I got the Alouettes.
I could go either way.
I just got no confidence in the Lions right now. That's a problem.
Across the board, yeah. And even though Rourke's playing awful, their whole team just isn't looking very good. So
no.
One split next week.
They're the Ottawa of the West.
Ottawa of the West, yeah. Yeah, looked good. Slowly fading away. Not the time you want to be fading away either as we roll directly into the playoffs. Our power rankings stayed the same virtually week to week. I just moved the Rough Riders up as they had a pretty dominant win over a West rival in the Lions. The Argos just moved down only because the Rough Riders moved up. That was a tough one, though, because the Argos did beat the Blue Bombers, the hottest team in the league right now. But Argos are looking hot right now as well. So should be good. We got 2 more weeks left, and then we'll begin the playoffs. I will be doing the podcast solo next week, guys. Don will be off.
You will.
Off and away. Not Not sure what he's going to be getting up to, but not doing the podcast, that's for sure. But you'll get my face solo. We'll have some fun things planned. And,
you know exactly what I'm doing.
yeah, he's actually helping me out with something, so he'll be away. He'll be
What a
away.
guy.
He'll be away for the week. And
he throws me under the bus right in front of me.
And I'll be carrying the team for you guys. So the Out of Bounds Sports Podcast team. So I'll be picking my own player of the week then.
Yes. It's all up to you.
Yeah.
You got to do all the work.
Yeah.
All the editing, everything.
It's gonna be our best video of the season. So
we'll see if it even gets out.
It should be coming at you next Thursday, hopefully. If not, by Friday before the game against.
Or if not, when I get back on the weekend.
We'll see. So, thanks again for watching, guys. Smash that like button. Share this to all your CFL fans. Stay up to date with all the CFL news, videos, and highlights. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out our shorts. We got tons of them popping out. All the sports are in full effect, so there's lots going on all across the sports world. And you can catch it all here at the Out of Bounds Sports Podcast. So thanks again, and I will see you next week.
And I will see you later.